All right, I want to say that this big turnaround from our financial frown is because of our amazing golden goldfish, but considering the fact that we still just have First Penny, the average golden goldfish, and Lost Wallet, the great quality, at least Lost Wallet's worth like 15,000 now, and First Penny is worth 20,000. I wonder if that's like the maximum they can be worth. We're gonna have to kind of keep an eye on that because that's not a bad investment for in exchange for a few little fish flakes, but I think the reality of our... Ooh, another one of the seahorses! Good job, little guys! The reality of our finances turning around probably has more to do with finally sorting out additional bathrooms. We may have added more emergency colon bathrooms for our guest, and, you know, making some zones, feeding everyone. I guess technically watering. Ooh, a Mulchamatic level 3. Hey, and Knight the Second. That's right. This was the great quality seahorse that we were going to take a DNA sample from before releasing back into the wilds. Mulchamatic 3. Let's put you outside for just a moment. Do I still have a Mulchamatic? Oh, I already had a Mulchamatic 3. Well, now I have 2 of them. I'm gonna put one away for now so that I don't end up having it blow up on me because I don't know how well trained our poor little pixel or the Pixology Plaza. Yes, that's what we decided to call it last time. This is why I need to keep notes. But I don't know how well trained our poor staff are. But hello everyone and welcome back to our adventures here in our Pixology Plaza as we continue to work on the goals of our main museum, which goal number 1 needed to be turning around the financial like avalanche that we were experiencing. And apparently, see, Jumbo Marketing wants to try to push their way in and act tough. Well, they're gonna find out that we're kind of sort of a little bit figuring out how to be able to, you know, be a proper museum. I was trying to think of something tougher to say to like counter whatever weird marketing. It's average quality, but hey, at least we have a maybe a copper investment is what we'll name this goldfish, because at least we managed to go ahead and get ourselves a new arrival. It is a select specimen, now worth $3,300. So maybe hey, First Penny is worth more than just like 20,000. So maybe they do just keep going up and up and up in value. And I wonder if that makes them go up and up and up in buzz. That would be really, really exciting, actually. But speaking of the buzz that we currently have going, let's see. So somebody wants my dancing tree. You can't have it. It's like very priceless to me because I think it's a pristine one. And then we got the penny pincher is going back to whoever owns it from the county. We also have almost enough money to get another helicopter. Hey, and I added some servers over here so that we could go ahead and process the things that we have to analyze a little faster. See, progress! We even added some of the new lots that we were able to purchase and expand to. And oh my gosh, it's literally just litter right now. That's so rude! You could at least leave me a few more pigeons. Also, oh my gosh, I love these pigeons. I've never been this close to these pigeons before. They're just standing like tiny little statues, but somehow they still are better looking than the ones in Sims 4. We won't think about that too hard. But welcome back, everyone. We are indeed seeming to make a little progress. I don't want to get too over enthusiastically excited, but people are buying things. People are wanting to put lots and lots and lots of money into our donation stands, which is always awesome. We seem to be able to pay some of the bills at the moment. We even were able to go ahead and purchase a few servers for the analysis room so that now it's at 48%. The levels are rising. It's over, well, not 2,000, but at least 48. And our conservation rating, boom. It was exceptional. Awesome. I wonder if there's a way we can boost the last of the buzz without... well, you know what? Why not have some new exhibits? Why not have some new exhibits? I really want to get another helicopter, which would be quite useful. But we probably should be trying to focus on something nice. And we were talking about having the night order to go along with our seahorses. That still appeals to me quite a bit. And I don't think we've started training some of our poor supernatural experts in how to go ahead and let's see, haunted dolls, the animatronics. I don't think we've started training some of our supernatural experts in how to be good at their jobs yet. And they're going to need to be good at their jobs in order to be able to handle some of the mysteries that they have lying ahead for them. Let's see, maybe the Ghost Duster and Ghost Guster and the Gentlefolk. If we wanted to take our seahorses, all right, maybe we'll focus on Marine for just a minute, because I do want our seahorses to have their own seahorse coral stables, like the Seahorse Stables Coral Reef. And I think that would be really fun. The seahorses, they breed really, really well. And I would really love to be able to have some of the Knights of the Uncharted piling up around there. That could help us kind of fight back against the Pirates of the Depths. We started to come up with that idea, and then the Boggymen, I think, ran away from us because they probably thought that was just a little much. Oh, I know, we should try to gather the famous spirits. Of course, because those famous spirits from the famous spirits from the Silverbottom family, that would be a really fantastic thing to have as a centerpiece in our Pixology campus, because they were adventurers and explorers too. We were starting to try to put the family together at our adventure headquarters in our science facility. I wonder if we can get an expedition going here. I think it would be a little tricky. We literally have a ghost chaser who has the dull ability. They're new at their job. They don't really know what they're doing. I have no somehow marine biologist with any kind of survival skills. I don't think we haven't, this poor ghost chaser isn't even named. I cannot think of a more rough way to treat our new hires. They might get cursed, they might get injured, they might get seasick, but I guess you gotta learn on the job sometimes. And while they're gone, we will start preparing ourselves for maybe having here in the center, perhaps we could have the Silverbottom Expedition Group, a nice blend of some of the wilds of the jungle, some of the research that one would do in order to go ahead and learn more about the natural world and the unnatural world and the supernatural world, all of the worlds, actually also the extraterrestrial worlds. So literally all of the worlds. Yay! We've got a little bit going on now. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to move this area around so that we can try to recreate a Silverbottom sunken sea ship, I think, so that we can welcome the Silverbottom family. We're going to also move the Mulchamatic maybe over here for a minute, and the sickly pair can go in here. Are you gonna do okay over there, little friend? I think you will. Hey, and map expert Mal Cream Puff has gone ahead and they've actually leveled up. They have a little bit of marketing. They can have a little more marketing as a treat, my treat. And then let's see. We'll move the troll grab game for a minute. There's just a lot of chaos everywhere, but is that, do you really expect anything else at this stage? I do. And I am not sure why. You hope, but what happens. Oh my gosh, is the Silverbottom Expedition already back? Okay, we're gonna check on those guys in a second, because I have a feeling they're either bringing me back money or possibly a ghost. All right, so if we do that, then we now have another very large area that in theory, I might turn into a ghost room for the Silverbottoms household. We also have a broken face, but a lot of experience gained on our crew members who went. And we can go ahead and give. It is Bish! I knew it! I knew we'd be able to pull that off! Huzzah! Huzzah! So they brought back Twiggy's cousin and the security for the original Silverbottom expedition team. That's really good! And don't worry. Oh, okay, that's Aqua Damp. That's not my employee I'm looking for. I have an employee with a broken face that I would really like to tend to, and we have another new employee who just earned their name as a sunken treasure discoverer. So we've got, was it the Fish DNA and Tours kid who went? No, Blaze Quakes went. Blaze Quakes, oh good, you're making your way over to the Douse and Dose spa. If we get your face fixed, then we'll be able to hopefully give you like a really great experience of not having a broken nose. I recently hurt my nose very badly, so I'm really feeling that right now. And we have deer bones! So, sunken treasure. Let's see. Yeah, sunken treasure. Hunter. Deer bones. Deer bones, thank you so much for being one of the patrons who make all of these adventures possible. I am very excited to welcome you to our crew. Quite literally, a crew. And very excited that you brought home a famous ghost. As you are currently the only supernatural expert, it is occurring to me that I probably should look for some people to be able to help you. And we should probably go ahead and see if we're gonna have because I'm thinking it'd be really fun to have a blend of aquariums, maybe with one of the sea monsters. Ooh, that would be really cool. Like have some aquariums maybe over here, like so, and then we'll move the vending machines. And we might need a little more space if we're gonna put the sea monsters over here, but we could work with that. And then have like the poltergeist room over to the side a little bit was my thought. And then let's see. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if we're gonna make it so that it's a everything good over there? You good? Okay, we're gonna just take care of that for a second. All right, so if that's our aquarium, it will probably need to be a bit bigger if we're going to have sea monsters in it. We have so many staff members to name in a little bit here. And we might have to make it slightly differently shaped if I want to make sure there's enough room. For us to be able to also have... Maybe I'll have the ghost room there. And then... Because if we also want to have a path to the greenhouse. See, this is why you just have a giant square after all, and you just like fill it in as you go. It turns out that's actually a pretty effective way to create your adventures. Let's see, maybe we'll do another layer there and there. Is that going to be enough for... That might be enough for our sea monsters, and we might be able to make it even bigger. And then what we possibly could do is have the poltergeist room kind of be over here, so it could sort of be like a sunken ship that people could look in. And that could be where we could have like Twiggy, the poltergeist, like Twiggy and all of his family members who were part of the crew from the ship. And then maybe we'll have their door over here. I think that'll work. Oh, look at that! I think it'll work. And then it could kind of make it look a little bit like a ship that, oh, and you know what? If we actually go ahead and remove this tiny sad bathroom, which probably is gonna make a lot of other people really sad too. But then we, let's see. Then we come over and we can add a little more sea monster stuff on this side. We can make it look more like a ship that sort of like crashed into the ocean. All right, and that also helps us out with getting the aquarium capacity a little larger. I bet if we move the door on the bathroom, we could even make it a bit bigger. And I want to see if we can get a nice sea monster or two, which, you know, in other words, I don't usually think I'm going to be saying, but here we are. I still need to find another supernatural expert too. And then I think we're gonna have a new zone that might be the Silver Bottom Sea Shanty, or like the Silver Bottom, the Silver Bottom, Silver Bottom Reefs, Silver Bottom. We're gonna have to play with that a little bit. I gotta think about it, but I like maybe just the Silver Bottom Shipwreck. That's what I want. That'll do. And oh yeah, it can have 4 ghosts. We might need to make that a little bigger at some point too, but that's okay. And then Silver Bottom Shipwreck as the name of where we're gonna have them. I think they like industrial age, but we're gonna have to double check. And Bish here is going to come and join us. And he likes any decor. Really? So you'll let me make it like kind of like naturalistic, buddy? Old pal? Or maybe sunken room? I'm gonna have to figure out, like, I think the shipwreck should be sunken decor. And then let's go ahead and we're going to... But he might let me get away with like having the wild floralates and the small plants. Cause come on, he's like and the salvaged beds. He's like a naturalist. He knows how this goes. And we'll get him some things to be able to relax and rest with his friends as soon as we find his friends and family. Okay, actually that's kind of sad if you think about it, because he just wants to be with his friends and family in the afterlife. And now that I thought about that, I've made myself sad and I want to go find his family. Because that's like the only thing he wants for his bus bonus is just like being somewhere in the afterlife with his family members. Oh, hang in there, buddy, old pal. Maybe we could say that all of the moss rugs we put in to the poltergeist room are like algae or coral that grew. And hopefully he'll enjoy that. And honestly, a wild rock pool makes sense to me if like your ship sunk to the bottom of the sea. A salvage table absolutely needs to come over here so that we can all ooh and ah over whatever he's discovered together. Whoa! We're a 4-star museum already? And they gave me a bench? I knew you'd work in a world of displays and exhibits, but that doesn't mean you're not showing off. This place is wonderful, almost obnoxiously so. Well, I mean, I'm glad to have the small rose planter and a bench. From
now and then to now and again, our show is criticised for being a little too broad in subject matter, perhaps too ambitious in scope. But on Digging Deeper, we aim to broaden our collective horizons, one step at a time. Each show, another shovel of dirt on the long road down to enlightenment. So, while we're hoping for a show about everything for everyone, sometimes that might look a bit like a show about anything for anyone.
Wait, what? What happens next? I don't want to cancel my changes. Thank you for the park bench? World-class museum? I'll put a couple benches over here, I guess? Your success has already done wonders for 2 Point County. The museum is on track to receive a world-class 5-star rating. We just need something big and splashy to get us over the line. The mayor's office has already taken plenty of credit for your museums, so it's about time they did something for us. A personal endorsement from the mayor is just the thing to get the wheels of bureaucracy a-rolling. On her special mayoral visit, she'll expect amazing and interesting exhibits of the highest quality, beautifully decorated spaces, and outstanding tours. Yep, sounds like a world-class museum to me. Oh boy. Receive an exceptional inspection rating from the mayor and reach enlightenment in prehistory. Yay, a tour guide with an analytical, nice-smelling face. Welcome. Hello. I'm so happy to see you. Evergreen, welcome back. You're going to be, how about Ghost Ship storyteller Evergreen. Welcome. Welcome. Your clone has now come to become part of this crew. I am so relieved that you're here because apparently we need to have like a really, really, really fancy visit from the mayor for our next star rating. I think we could pull that off, and that's just for 5 stars, and now we know we can go up to at least 6, and there's probably more. So I am tentatively hopeful that we'll be able to work something out here. But the Enlightenment, the prehistory Enlightenment reminds me, you know, we probably need another helicopter if we're gonna make investigating all of the different locations where we can get some exhibits possible. And also, I want to have more information about our poor friend here, the Silver Bottoms, and, you know, their legacy. I also would love to get another one of the sea monsters behind the Silver Bottoms, and maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was a sea monster that took down the Silver Bottoms ship. Maybe that's what we'll end up learning. And who knows, maybe if we continue to dive into the depths with marine life experts that we don't have the skills to be able to find yet, we'll learn more about that situation. And I mean, the SS Silverbottom itself apparently was a pirate ship, but Bish Silverbottom, could we get your like cousin or somebody out from Uncle Burrows? That's right. That's right. They're over here, over at the Cryo Labs. It's Biff. Okay, let's see if we can go get Biff, because nobody will apparently die here in the Cryo Labs if I yeet someone all the way off into the mines. I love how chaotic this is and how I'm just constantly sort of scratching my head being like, all right, well, Glacier Icy Maker Megan. It's good to see you. I think that you're probably perfect for the Cryo Labs given, you know, the whole job thing. You guys can go ahead and have some nice coats so that you don't end up actually getting into a blizzard status, and just enjoy your trip. And I guess if we're going to work on the prehistory, I need to actually work on prehistory. And we still haven't even gone to discover Chuckle Ponds yet, which is like apparently experiencing a heat wave. And apparently I have no prehistory experts with observation skills. Right, we're gonna have somebody go ahead and Gizmosi Chaos, I think you have to be at a certain level. Why don't you go volunteer at the prehistoric soup kitchen? Oh, wow. The chaos. I totally forgot about the sea monster too. But we do know about, I've been dragging my feet on discovering too many of them. But we know about one type of sea monster, and there's 2 other types. We could start with the zappers and then maybe build our way up. Or we could just go ahead and get a bunch of tiger sharks again, because those are pretty cool. But how is my ghost doing? I want to make sure that, okay, he's staying pretty calm, pretty entertained. I just want to make sure that Bish the ghost doesn't get too upset. Also, all of my money just vanished into the sea, apparently. And we'll get some of our information stands set up so people can learn more about the trepidatious Silverbottom expedition. Let's also get a tour stand set up so that we can have our supernatural expert possibly give like a really fantastic tour proclaiming the saga, the dramatic epic saga of the Silverbottom crew and what happened to them. And then I think we can get some buzz from the aquarium if we build things up pretty soon. So we'll have that be our little setup, and we'll have only supernatural experts go ahead and work on that tour. And yay, a new seahorse! I'm gonna need to possibly sell that little thing in a second for some money. And then I guess we could have some of the smaller stands here and there as a quick little information piece. I have a lot of people we need to name. This place is a little messier than I would feel comfortable having. Like, this feels like when you have the professor visit to get your kids into school in The Sims 2, and you just kind of move one of the most expensive pieces of art around the room over and over again, like from room to room. At least that's what I did growing up, because I was trying to get my kids into a good school in Sims, and so I would just like move the move like the very expensive statue from room to room as we gave a tour to, oh boy, there we go, we're gonna be okay. But I would move the expensive statue from room to room as we were giving a tour to the dean of the school, so that they would think, wow, there's statues in every room, and let my kids like join their school. That was basically my primary goal there. All right, well, I think we'll be able to turn our money frowns upside down to, I hope, a smile. And I hope, if you say turn that frown upside down too many times in a row, do you just end up frowning again? Asking for a financially precarious friend, who's me. Oh, I'm so grateful that the water dragons are having more babies though, because that's definitely helping. Good job, you guys. I'm so proud of you. I'm thank you very much. This is literally as we were checking on them. They're like, hey, we got a couple more kids. How do you do? Thank you. All right, so let's see if we brought Bish's family member home from the cryo labs. We also went to the soup kitchen. Explorer Gizmosi Chaos has now leveled up, and I'm gonna need to double check on what we might want to teach you. And I'm thinking sea monsters to impress and not threaten, but to impress the mayor next time. Hey, and chili plants! It's been so long since we've seen these guys! So that's what you can find in the cryo labs. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if I can keep it cool enough. Yes. Excellent. Oh, all right. Off to search for sea monsters and totally not use them to threaten the mayor next time. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.